วันวิสาขบูชานะ
Today is Visakha Puja Day.
เราถือว่าเป็นวันประสูติตรัสรู้ปรินิพพาน
In Thailand, we regard this day is the day of the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing of the Buddha.
วันตรัสรู้อะไรเงี้ยคิดไป
In other countries, they may have a different dates for the day of passing of the Buddha.
จุดสำคัญไม่ใช่อยู่ที่วันไหนนะ
The important thing is not about the dates.
การเกิดขึ้นของพระพุทธเจ้าเป็นของหายาก
All about his birth.
ยากมาก
Although his birth is very, very rare.
อย่าว่าแต่พระพุทธเจ้าเลยในยุค
Not only the Buddha, but in these days, it's also very rare to find enlightened ones as the day goes by.
สอนกันว่าอินทรีย์ของคนความแก่กล้าในจิตใจ
As the day pass, the faculties of the people are weakening.
มันก็มีเขาเหมือนกันนะทุกวันนี้
You can kind of see that because these days the strength
พวกเราต้องตั้งใจเรียนตั้งใจปฏิบัติเอาไว้
of the religion is weakening. This is why Luangpu keep telling us to learn and train, because we don't know how long Buddhism will last, how long we can learn. The society is changing, relying more and more on material things, on benefits. People rely less on morality, because morality, they said that you cannot eat with morality. You cannot earn with morality. A lot of change in the society, especially in the last 50 years, 50, 60 years.
ที่ผู้ใหญ่ลีตีกลองประชุมนะสังคมมันเริ่มเปลี่ยนใครจำเพลงนี้ได้บ้างใครเคยได้ยิน
Have anyone
รุ่นออริจินอลว่า
recall this Thai traditional name, traditional song?
ผู้ใหญ่ลีตีกลองประชุม
It was BE 2504. There's a song called that is a song that came out that year, and there is a bill of improving economics of Thailand that came out that year. Everyone's living was improving, more industrialized.
ชาวไร่ชาวนาผลิตออกมาเนี่ยขายได้บ้างขายไม่ได้บ้างช่วงแรกๆลำบากอาศัยน้ำฝน
The farmers, they struggle before that after they grow crops, sometimes they can sell them, sometimes they cannot.
จากสังคมเกษตร
The past king, he was very foresight. He helped the farmer out.
ทุกวันนี้กำลังเปลี่ยนจากสังคมอุตสาหกรรมไปเป็นสังคมธุรกิจ
So from the industrialized society, now we are changing to tourism. And then tourism is also depleting again. With the industrialized society, the industry, the factories are luring people to leave the countryside to move to work in the factories. In the past, farmers, they have more time to practice. When they have time, they would go to the temple. And the family, they all live together. The elderly would help raise the children. The adults would go to work, and then the elderly would take the young kids to go to the temple. When Luang Por was young, even before he could walk, when he was just a baby, adults would take him to the temple. His grandmother would take him to the temple to listen to a Dhamma talk, although Luang Por was still a baby, and would lay him down on the floor to listen to the Dhamma talk at the temple. So his mind was used to mingling in the temple atmosphere. But these days, people do not have time to go to the temple. They have time to drink, though. Society has changed. The way of our living has changed. Our way of living has changed. All of them has changed. The society that was connected to the religion is depleting. Another part is the monk. Before, in the past, all men would ordain and train as monks for a period of time. These days, men do not ordain, or if they ordain, they would not understand. They do not have teachers to teach them correctly. So if they ordain, sometimes they just ordain to just hang out. They didn't practice. They didn't learn about Buddhism. They didn't learn Dhamma. The duty to learn about Buddhism is to learn about the principles and to practice. But these days, lately, monks, they do not learn anything at all. Especially the training, the practice. Especially when one's whole have mobile phones. In the past, mobile phone would not have access to the internet. You cannot view pictures from mobile phone in the past. But now you can access anything through your mobile phone. It instigates defilement right from your mobile phone. So monks that have strength, they have to have a lot of strength to beat the defilement, to beat lust. They have to really be strong. But if they don't have that, and they ordain, they would break precepts. They don't know the true value of Buddhism. We are the few people who are learning about Buddhism, learning of how to practice. Now that we know how to practice, now we have to practice too, so we can be liberated from the defilement, to be free from suffering. Even though some monks, they learn the theory from books, but they never practice, they cannot fight the defilement. The defilements are not afraid of the text. Sometimes even the text can increase one's defilement, because if you feel like you know a lot, you may feel that you are better than other people. But we have to learn the theory. The monks who dedicate themselves to protect the text, Luang Por really respect them. for their dedication and their
บาง
sacrifice.
คนก็ลงมือปฏิบัติ
Some they learn and they also
ป
practice.
ฏิบัติโดยไม่เรียนเลยนะอันนี้แล้วแต่
But if you practice without learning, you
มีบุญ
are
ส่งเสริม
also risking of going in the wrong path.
สอนเราลดละกิเลสได้
If you don't learn and you
จำนวนมาก
find
ลงมือปฏิบัติ
the
เป็น
masters
อะไรไป
who can teach you the right path, then it's
แท
good.
นที่จะ
But if
มี
you
สตินะไปกด
go
ข่ม
to
บังคับจิต
the schools that may teach you the wrong
มากมาย
thing,
เครียดจัด
then
เป็นบ้าไป
you can go crazy.
เราไป เราไปเห็นพระบางองค์พูดจาหลักแหลมอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
Sometimes you see the monk that
เรา
may
ไม่รู้ป
say
ริยัติเราก็
something that
นี่
sounds
หลวงพระ
wise, but we do not
ที่จะ
know
คิดเอาไว้ทั้ง
the
หมดเลย
theory. We
ไม่
never
ได้
learn
เรียนป
about
ริยัติ
Buddhism.
ด้วย
We
ปฏิ
may
บัติก็
thought
ไม่
that,
เป็นด้วย
oh, he's right,
แต่พูดเก่ง
but we might not know that this monk,
คนก็
maybe he
ตาม
give a good
ตาม
talk,
มัน
but
ไป
he do not know how to practice.
มีนักเผยแพร่บางคนเคย
There
ข
are
อบอกหลวง
some
พ่อ
teacher who try to
เขาบ
ask
อก
to
ไป
see
แต่
Luang
ไป
Pa.
ไกลนะหลวงพ่อไม่ว่างมาพบ
There's this
เดือนมกราคม
person who like to talk about Dhamma wanted to
แฟน
meet
คลับ
Luang
เขา
Pa.
มีเยอะ
He has a lot of fan
มา
clubs,
หาหลวงพ่อ
a lot of fans.
เขาถามมีอะไรแนะนำไหม
He asked,
บอก
do you have anything
ก่อนจะสอน
to for me to
ปฏิ
any
บัติก็ต้องเรี
suggestions
ยน
for me?
ปฏิบัติต้องทำให้เป็นก่อน
Luang Pa
ก่อน
said
จะ
to
สอน
him
ได้
that
ดี
you have
ไม่
to
งั้น
also
คิดเอาเอง
learn
คิดเอา
the
เอง
principles,
คลาดเคลื่อนง่าย
because if you only think,
เวลาถ่ายทอดธรรมะเราผิดพ
you
ลาด
can miss the point. And when you
ไม่อันตราย
do not truly understand and you teach
ครู
other
บาอาจารย์แต่ก่อน
people,
ท่าน
that is very dangerous.
ถ้าสอนผิดนี่ต้องรู้ว่าผิด
The
ปุ๊บต้องรีบ
masters in
แก้
the
ทันทีเลย
past, if they
ไม่
teach
รัก
something
ษา
wrong,
แต่รักธรรมะ
they
กลัว
will
ธรรมะ
correct
จะ
it
เสี
right
ย
away. They didn't afraid of
ไป
losing
หา
face.
ประวัติหลวงพ่อชาตอนท่านหนุ่มๆอะ
Venerable Luang Pa
ท่าน
Cha,
ก็
when
เดิ
he
น
was
ทุดงค์ไป
young,
ไปเจอพระผู้เฒ่าองค์
one time he met
พระองค์นี้อายุเยอะนะแต่ท่าน
an
พักอยู่บน
older
ภูเขา
master.
หลวงพ่อ
This
ชา
older
ก็
elderly
ทรง
master
ท่า
stay
นก็สอนภาว
on
นา
top of the
ให้หลวงพ่อ
mountain,
ชา
and this elderly
สอน
monk
เสร็จแล้ว
master
ท่านก็ขึ้น
taught
ภูเขา
Luang
ไป
Pa Cha, and then he left
ตอน
and
ดึ
went
ก
back
ๆ
to
พระผู้
his
เฒ่า
hut on the
ลงจาก
mountain.
ภูเขามา
And
หา
then
หลวง
late
พ่อ
at
ชา
night, this elder
หลวงพ่อ
master
ชาถาม
came
ว่า
down
ทำ
from
ไม
the mountain
บอก
to
ว่า
see
วัน
Luang
นี้
Pa
ท่านบอก
Cha.
พระวินัยผิดไปข้อ
He
หนึ่ง
said
ท่านนึก
that
ได้ว่ามัน
I
ผิด
came down here because I
ก็รีบ
just
เอามาแก้
remember that
รีบ
I
มาบอกว่า
taught
ทำ
you
ผิดนะ
wrong.
หลวงพ่อชาบอกทำไม
So
ไม่
I
บอก
want to
ไม่ได้
correct
คุย
what
ไม่ได้
I
เกี่ยว
said to you
ท่าน
wrong.
บอกเกิดท่านตายไป
Luang Pa Cha
คื
asked,
นนี้ท่านตาย
why did you come so
หล
late?
วง
You
พ่อชา
you could
จะ
have
พ
wait
ระวินัย
until
ผิ
the
ดไป
morning.
ข้อหนึ่งไปสอนคนอื่นผิด
He
เนี่ย
said that,
มันบาปนะ
but if I
ไม่
dine
เรา
to
รู้จักการ
tonight and
คิด
you
พูดขนาดนั้น
remember the wrong thing and you spread out the wrong
สอน
message,
ผิดต้องแก้ทันที
then it would be a
ไม่รู้
bad
ต้องแก้
karma.
ไม่
So
รู้
if
ดันทุลัง
when
รักหน้า
you see that you understand
และที่
something
พูด
incorrect,
ก
you have
ว้า
to
งๆ
fix
ให้
it
คนได้
right
ฟัง
away.
นะมันก็เห็นศาสนาเราในยุคนี้อยู่ลำบากมากเลย
Luang Pa just want to
สั
give
งคมไทย
everyone
มันเป็นสั
a
งคม
big picture that
แทบจะเรียกว่าไม่เอาไม่
religion
อยากพูดอยู่แล้ว
is very fragile
เป็
right
นทาง
now.
เป็นภูมิที่เสื่อมอะเป็นภูมิที่เสื่อมลงไปเรื่อย
This
ๆ เคย
realm
ได้ยินเรื่อง
is
อบาย
the
มุข
realm
ไหม
that
อบาย
is
มุขเป็นประตู
deteriorating.
ของความเสื่อม ดื่มน้ำเมาเนี่ยข้อแรกเลย
There are ways
กิน
for
เหล้าเมายา
deteriorating,
มียา
like
เสพ
if
ติ
you
ดมีอะไร
drink alcohol, if you take drugs.
เมื่อก่อนวันพระใหญ่นะเขาไม่กินเหล้าเลยนะในพรรษา
In the
โบราณ
past,
ไม่กินเหล้าเลยนะอาตมาก็น้อย
people in
ล
the
งมา
past,
เหลือแค่
they
วั
would
นพระใหญ่
forbid it
ไม่กินเหล้า
themselves
ไม่ขายเหล้า
not to drink
เนี่ยสังคมให้
on the
ให้ขายได้
not to
แล้ว
drink
ตอนนี้
alcohol on Lenten Day, and then later only the
ทุก
very
กลางคืน
important
เมื่อ
Buddhism
ก่อน
day.
อย่างวันพระใหญ่
And this
มี
today
ส
today
ถา
at the present, you can drink
สถา
any
นบัน
day.
เทิงปิดนะตอนนี้ให้เปิ
And
ด
in
ได้
the
ให้
past,
คนไปเที่ยวกลางคืนได้ ดื่มน้ำเมาเที่ยวกลางคืนดูการละ
those
เล่น
entertainment places
เล่นการพนัน
would
ก็
be
ส่งเสริม
closed
นะจะ
on
ทำ
Buddhist
ทั้งพนันอ
Buddha
อน
Lent
ไลน์
Day.
ทั้งอะไร
but now it is open every day. And now there are a tendency of opening casino legally. So this is why the society is deteriorating. One thing is also that if you find a friend in the people who are immoral, many people do not know who's moral, who's immoral. Some do not work because they are waiting to get the handouts. So this realm is deteriorating. The masters, many masters said this years ago, that it will be harder and harder to live in this world. The world will feel more and more like hell. So let's practice. Let's follow the Buddha. It is very, very rare that the Buddha is born, that the Buddha exists. Also, that his teaching is still here today. But if you are not interested, and if you don't practice, one day it will be gone. It will perish. If you come to the temple every day, you will see that there are many foreigners at the temple, and it is hard for them to travel from their home country to be here, because at their home countries, they don't have Buddhism. So if they want a Dhamma, that's why they came all the way over here to learn. And also it's hard to communicate. It takes time to translate. There are less Chinese students now because of the economic hardship. And also Thailand is very, very hot this month. So they said they'll come back later when it is cooler. It is very difficult for foreigners to come here and learn about Dhamma. But a lot of Thais, you are already here, but you are not interested. Luangpo feel pity for them. Luangpo Anumotana with other foreign students who set their mind to learn Dhamma. Luangpo went to China long time ago to give a Dhamma talk. And then there's more and more Chinese students who are interested in Dhamma, and they would come here. And the Chinese translation, the Chinese team are prospering. Teacher Prasan is the head of the team, and this team is very strong now. So let's study Dhamma before it is gone. It is perished from this world. Although the Buddha is no longer here, but he left behind his teachings. What we have to learn is that we as Buddhists is not to believe, to just believe. Our duty is to learn. Learn about what? Learn about the training of morality, the training of the mind, and the training of the wisdom. These three things that we have to learn. Not just learning about of the theory and principle, but we have to take it into our action. We have to practice. First, set your mind to keep the moral precepts. Determine that we will keep these moral precepts. So only five precepts. You don't have to hold on to 227 precepts like the monk. So keep the 5 moral precepts. Set your mind to it. When the defilement is strong, it will likely push us to break the precepts. Hold on to your precept that you will not break the precept no matter what. And it would be better for the moral precepts how to keep the precepts more pure is that we have to train the mind to be aware. So we have to have sati. The sati is to be aware of oneself. Whatever arises in our mind, the defilement that would arise in our mind, know so. You don't have to know everything. No, you have to know everything. Know so when the defilement arises in your mind. That is enough for the beginner. Defilement such as lust, anger, delusion. Lust is holding on, attachment. It is the state. It is the characteristic that you are attaching to something. For example, when you see a cute kitten, you want to hold it. Or when you see beautiful flower, you want to pick it up, or you want to smell it. So lust has a characteristic of you going toward the object. So notice your mind, that it is hungry for the object that you desire, the object that you find it fun, pleasurable. When you have that, know so that lust has arise. So if the mind is hunger to be something, to have something, that is lust. Lusting for the feeling that is pleasurable. Anger is the opposite of lust. It's dislike. You don't want that object, that feeling to stay. You want it to go away. For example, when you see someone that you don't like, you want to push that person away. You want that person to be far, far away from you. It's the characteristic of the feeling of not wanting that object to be close to you. So lusting is pulling in. Anger is pushing out. Thai people, we live in the hot climate and we want to see snow. And if we see snow, it's cold, now you want to come back to Thailand. So one thing is always arising and it's changing all the time. Sometimes you want to have this, sometimes you want to be this, sometimes you don't want this, you don't want to be that. So pay attention to your mind. It's not difficult. When you love something, when you want something, know so. When you hate something, know so. Lust is a state that the mind is attracting to the object, pulling toward, pulling in. Anger is pushing it out. So you want, with anger, you want it to go away, to perish. Like when you are sick and you feel aching, you're not feeling good, you have to stay in the hospital. Your mind might be angry. Where am I going to get well? Or you can be angry at your doctor.
สังเกตนะแค่ไม่สบาย
Pay attention to your mind. Even just feeling sick, you can feel irritated because you don't like it. You don't like feeling like this. You don't like this state. So pay attention to your mind. Or another example is that you walk in the mall and you see a brand new mobile model. And you want this mobile, the new mobile phone. Know so that you have lust. You want to have it. So lust is pulling the object toward, and anger is pushing the object away from you. And delusion is about not knowing yourself. The character of delusion is that it is blurry. Like for example, when your mind is busy, restless, anyone their mind not busy before? Anyone's mind busy before? Luangpo is trying to take a look at people who claim that their mind never was busy before. So when your mind is busy, sometimes the mind think of this thing, sometimes the mind think of that thing. It's not very clear. The mind think of this and then it's changed to another thing quickly. So sometimes the mind is busy, sometimes the mind is dull, drowsy. You don't want to know about anything else. You feel retarded. You want to regress from the world. People, you may hear the compliment, you may hear people cursing at you and you don't want to feel it. This is also delusion. That you cannot really tell how you feel. It is more difficult to observe moha or delusion. So these three main defilement, the lust, anger, and delusion. The one that can cause harm the most is anger. Because when you have anger, you might want to harm other people. Like if you hurt someone, you might have to go to jail. And also your mind is boiling, it is very unhappy, very uncomfortable, not calm at all, not peaceful at all. But anger is the easiest one to recognize and let go. If you have sati, if you have an awareness, when anger arises, like when you hate someone, you are angry with that person. You see that person and you haven't done anything yet. Your mind's already saddened. Because as anger arises, the first person who has the effect from anger is yourself. Your mind is unpleasant. Because everyone do not like suffering, do not like unhappiness. So it can be easily noticed. Anger can be easily noticed. And then later on, you may have the wisdom that anger brings you nothing good. Jealousy brings you nothing good. When you feel jealous, your mind is not joyful. Or when you are stingy, feeling stingy, selfish, your mind is saddened. That is also anger. So this type of minds, they have rooted from anger. If you see this again and again, every time anger arises, you see the unhappiness arise, suffering arise. And the nature of the mind that the mind dislike unhappiness, the mind dislike suffering. So it would let go. So anger is a defilement that is the most harmful but it is the easiest one to let go of. Lust have less harm, but it is harder to let go. Like when you see beautiful flower, you want the flower that you already have lust, but you may not pick out the flower. It may break the law, so you may not pick up that flower. Sometimes lust can bring you happiness, or when you have equanimity, it can also bring you happiness. Like when you see a puppy, you want to play with a puppy, you love that puppy, you are happy to be with that puppy. So you feel that lust is harmless. It is not as scary as anger. So sometimes you enjoy lust. So you have to be aware. You have to have more sati to let go of lust. So lust is less harmful comparing to anger, and it is also harder to let go. Anger is most harmful, but it is easier to let go. Lust is less harmful, but it is harder to let go. And delusion is the worst of them all. It also has a lot of harm, but it is also very hard to let go. It is hard to let go because we don't see them. This is why it is one of the worst ones. Like when your mind has wandered off, you thought that this is harmless, that your mind is lost, wander off. You thought that this is harmless, no one would get hurt from this. I'm not breaking any moral precepts, I'm not breaking any law. You don't see the harm that comes with delusion. When you have delusion is the worst one of them all, because before we have lust, the mind has to be lost first. When we have lust, the mind is also lost, because your mind is lost into the object of your pleasurable. Or when you have anger, your mind is also lost. This is why moha or delusion is the worst one of all, because it's hard to see. It has to see this defilement. But when your mind is busy, and if you can practice samadhi, you can compare the feeling between the mind that is busy and the mind that is peaceful, that is calm. So you see the harm of delusion. But it's difficult for one to attain samadhi. This is why it is hard. And the head of all of defilement is the wrong view. The wrong view is also delusion. It is the master of all defilement, and it is very defined. This wrong view is that because we don't see the Four Noble Path, we don't see the suffering, we don't know how to let go of suffering, we don't know how the cause of suffering, and we do not know how to let go of the cause of suffering. And we do not know how to let go. If we don't know this Four Noble Path, that is the delusion. The path is one, but there are 4 levels of a path or enlightenment. It is difficult to explain. There's one enlightenment, but there are 8 components that makes up one. This is why it's called 8 paths sometimes.
แต่ในโสดาปัตติมรรคนั้นประกอบด้วยองค์มรรคอีกทั้งหมด8อย่าง
Like when one is first enlightened, there are 7 components that make toward this one enlightenment, like Sodapanna. But to one to be enlightened, they have to have the right effort, the right view, the right sati, the right samadhi, all 7 components.
อันนี้ไม่ใช่อริยมรรคหรอกนะอันนี้เรียกมรรคมากคือมีตั้งหลายมรรคนะมรรคมันรวมกันนะแต่องค์ประกอบ
When all come together,
7 ตัวนะรวมเข้ามา
these 7 livelihood, they all come together with the right samadhi. The right samadhi would combine all this righteousness toward one enlightenment. So let's make it one.
ของจีนเขามีโป้ยเซียน8โป้ยเซียนคนเดียวสู้ปีศาจไม่ได้ต้อง8 คน
In the Chinese tell there is a god that he has to have 7 partners that all fight the evil together. For enlightenment, you have to have these 7 components together with Samma Samadhi or the right Samadhi, for all them the components to come together toward the enlightenment. Where you don't know the suffering, you don't know the duty toward the suffering, you don't know the duty toward how to know the suffering, and you don't know how to let go and to get in touch of Nibbana. Nibbana is always there. We didn't make it happen. You can let go of the defilement by prospering this path. The mind can truly see Nibbana. Nibbana is always right in front of us. You will see. But we cannot see Nibbana because the mind is clouded, the mind is blocked with the defilement, with the wrong view. So only this wrong view. We have to practice a lot to get through this wrong view. When Luangpo in the past, Luangpo read a lot of texts, and Luangpo was confused. How do you know many things in one mind? It felt difficult. So you have to practice, be determined, and don't give up to practice. The key thing is the key toward the practice toward enlightenment is to know of the suffering. What is the suffering? The suffering is the body and the mind. Those are the sufferings. The suffering is not to run away from, but to know them. This is why Buddhism is difficult. It is easy to tell one to run away from the suffering. It is harder to know them, non-run away. Because a lot of people would run away from suffering. But actually, the sufferings are our body, out the body and the mind. So we cannot be far away from our suffering. They are right here. We do not understand that. suffering is not for us to run away from. It's for us to know them. In short, the sufferings are the body and the mind. So to know them is to know so of this body and this mind. And then you will see that the body and the mind, they are not permanent. They are always oppressed to change or suffer, and they are not under our control. They are non-self. Like we cannot tell ourselves not to feel sleepy, not to feel that we have to go to the toilet. They are not us. They are just elements that we borrow from, that they are borrowed from the world. This body is just elements borrowed from the world. At first, this body is borrowed the element from your mother and your father and make this body. And then it relies on the water, air, earth, fire element to keep it growing. And then after you are out from your mother's womb, you need to be fed. You drank your mother's milk and you gain water element. You are eating elements every day. And then after you eat the elements, you relieve the elements every day. And then you kept growing and growing. And then one day, you cannot control the elements. This karma that leads the elements to come together, this type of karma that is called Shanok karma, it brings all the elements, it designs what we look like. It brings the elements come together that become you. And then later, after we grow older, the elements are deteriorated. That's why we get old. And then one day, the karma will also break all these elements apart. We keep observing this body is nothing but elements borrowed from the world. And then one day we have to return these elements to the world. And we can see this body is oppressed to change all the time. It is suffering. Although this body might not be us, but we still feel attached to it. Like if you borrow a car from someone that you like this car and you don't want to give the car back. You don't want to give the car back to the owner yet. Sodabana or the stream enter, they realize that this body, these five aggregates are not them. But they still are attached to the five aggregates. They don't want to give them back yet. But they know that the five aggregates are not theirs. They still are attached to them. So their view, they see the truth, but they still have attachment to the five aggregates. They don't want to lose the five aggregates yet. Like they borrow the five aggregates, but they don't want to return them yet. When you see that this body and this mind are not us, this is the day, if you truly know that, it's the day that you are a stream enterer. And then one day you can completely let go of the body. That is the non-returner. And then the higher, more understanding is that one is not. For the non-returner, they still feel attached to the mind. But then the more one practice and see that actually this mind is also not us, and also is the suffering. It is a rise and fall continuously, and is inherent suffering again and again for lifetime. One will see that there's nothing more suffering than the mind. When one sees this, one is dispassionate of the mind, and it can let go. It gives the mind back. When one can let go of the mind, everything is let go. The mind is free from the five aggregates, truly free from the five aggregates. That is the word they say in the text, that the mind is further away from the five aggregates. When the mind is further away from the aggregate, the five aggregates are suffering. But the mind that is further away from the five aggregates, it is not suffering like the aggregate. It is just knowing. It's just a knowing element that is pure. This is important. This is linking to Nibbana. When the mind is purest, it can see the Dhamma that is also the purest, which is Nibbana. So it's up to the mind. If the mind is pure, it will see the same Ram as the mind. Like if your mind is clouded like the hell being, then it will see hell. When the mind is free from the five aggregates, it will see Nibbana. So let's train ourselves. Let's train. Let's practice. It's the duty of the Buddhists to learn, to develop your moral precepts, your mind, and the wisdom. And then one day you can let go of the five aggregates, and tremendous happiness awaits. Nothing is happier than Nibbana. Nibbana is a state that is free. It is free and fully liberated. Right now, some people may experience a gap of emptiness or being free, but that is not Nibbana. But that is actually very far away from Nibbana. Like when your mind is peaceful and calm, you think that this is Nibbana, but it's not that yet. Nibbana is free. It is, sometimes it is called, by the Master, it is called one original mind. But for us, right now, as practitioners, we still have many minds. Sometimes the mind is wholesome, sometimes the mind is unwholesome. It keeps changing. Listen to Luangpa's talk. You may feel that this is difficult. Luangpa recommend that you rewatch Luangpa's Dhamma teaching, and then one day you will understand Luangpa's Dhamma. But it cannot be understood by thinking, by using human logic. So if you practice, and then one day you will truly see and understand the Dhamma that is taught by Luangpa. This Dhamma is also taught by other masters who are pure. They are beautiful. If you are close to them, you will be happy. You feel peaceful and calm. In the past, Luangpa, when he was a lay person, Luangpa would take a holiday, take extra days
ก็จะไปอยู่กับครูบาอาจารย์
to go to the temple and stay with the masters because that calmed his mind down. His mind was peaceful. None of the master ever asked for anything, any money, never asked that.
ครูบาอาจารย์มีแต่ให้
The master only
ครู
gave.
บาอาจารย์ที่หลวงพ่อเรียนมากับท่านนะ
The masters that Luangpu learned
นึก
with,
ถึงเลยนะยังเกิด
they
ปี
are
ติ
beautiful.
จิตมี
Every time when
ปีติ
Luangpu thought of them,
เป็นธรรม
Luangpu is happy, happy. It's called Dhamma piti.
มีคราวหนึ่งนะไป
One time,
หินมะเป้ง
Luangpu went to this temple called Himateng.
คนใหญ่
There were many people, many
4-3
important people in the society were
จิ๋ว
there.
จิ๋วไป
And Luangpu was,
ไปเข้าไป
and nobody knew who
ตอน
Luangpu
เช้า
was.
อะ
In the
เวลา
morning,
พระท่านตักอาหารนะพอตักอาหารเสร็จ
when the monks
ทีมงานก็จะ
are
ยกไปวาง
having breakfast,
ที่นี่เอามาใช้เหมือนกันนะยกมาไปตั้งข้างล่าง แต่
and
ตามไม่ได้
after what
หินมะเป้ง
the leftover
ช่ว
would
งที่
be
พระฉันอาหาร
placed in
เราจะ
the
ทำวัดเช้ากัน
cafeteria for the
ส่วน
people
มาก
to
ทำวัดเช้า
eat.
นะทำวัดเช้าเสร็จแล้วค่อยลงไป
The
กิน
people
ข้าว
who also at the temple
แต่
would
ที่นี่
pray and chant
พ
in
อ
the
พระตักอา
morning
หารเสร็จ
before they
ก็
eat
ลงไปกิน
breakfast.
เลยเดี๋ยวขึ้นมาฟังเทศน์ไม่ได้ทำวัดเช้าแบบนี้ที่นั่นเราก็นั่
But
ง
over
ทำวัด
here
เช้า
at the temple, so in
เดี๋ยว
Santitam
เดี๋ยวเราจะได้ลง
temple,
ไปกินข้าว
we don't have, they do not pray, but
พอทำวัด
the
เสร็
lay
จ
people
นะ
would
ออก
eat
มา
and then come
เค
to
ลียร์เล
listen
ย
to
นะ
the Dhamma talk.
เลยรู้จักเลยสุญญตาเป็นอย่างนี้เอง ไม่มี
When Luangpu was there, after the
ค
morning
นใหญ่
chant,
คนโตเวลา
all the
เข้าไป
food
วัด
is
นะก็มี
gone
คนใช้ไปด้วย
because all
ตั
those
ว
important people, they would
ค
have
นใหญ่
their
คน
maids
โตเขาก็
that
จะ
would
ทำวั
come
ด
to
ให้
the
ทำวัดเสร็จ
temple
ก็
with
กลับกุ
them.
ฏิเลย ลูกน้องขนข้าวไปที่กุฏิหมดละ
The maids,
เรา
the follower of
ไม่
those
มีอะไรกิน
important
แล้วนะ
people, they would
ไม่
take
มีก็
all
ไม่
the
มีวะ
food.
ไม่เห็นจะเป็นไร
But
คน
Luangpu
เข้า
said,
วัด
it's
ก็ไม่
okay
จะเป็นไรนะ
if that
กลับ
there's
ขึ้นมา
no
บนศา
food.
ลาหลวง
Luangpu
ปู่ท่า
would
นเห็น
come up
ท่านกวักมือ
to
เรียก
back to the
กวัก
temple
มือเรียก
hall.
เข้าไปหา
And then the master saw Luangpu that Luangpu
ท่า
didn't
นส่ง
eat
บาตรของท่าน
because the
ให้
food was gone. Luangpu, the master gave
โอ้ความเมตตา
Luangpu food because
ม
he
หา
was
ศาลจ
had
ริง
a lot of kindness.
ๆ คนเอาเงินเป็นแสนเป็นล้านไปให้ท่านนะท่านเฉยๆเอาไปทำโรงพยาบาลไปทำโน่นทำนี่
The master received
หลวง
millions,
พ่อก็
millions of baht.
ได้ป
People
ฏิป
gave
ทาครูบาอาจารย์นะ
make
มา
offer
ที่
to
นี่ไม่ค่อย
the
เรียรายนะรู้สึก
master
ไหม
millions, and
หาข้าว
Luangpu,
ให้
the
กินชีวิต
master gave those offering
ได้เงินมา
to
นะหลวงพ่อ
develop the hospitals.
บางทีก็ต้องใช้นะมีธุระก็ต้องใช้ มีส่วนเกินหลวงพ่อก็ส่วนใหญ่ก็ไปทำให้โรงพยาบาลนะไป
When Luangpu also
ปีนี้ก็
received
ทำไป
offerings
4-5
here
ล้าน
at the temple,
ไม่เยอะ
Luangpu
ครูบาอาจารย์
gave
ทำจริงเป็น100 ล้านแล้วคนหาท่านเยอะ
the
แต่
offering
ที่นี่
also
หลวง
to
พ่อ
the
ชอบสอนคน
hospitals.
ให้ภาวนาไม่ต้องทำทานเยอะ เดี๋ยวไม่มีข้าวกิน
Here, Luangpu said, don't
มี
make a
ส่วน
lot
เกิ
of
นก็
offering.
ทำอย่างที่ครูบาอาจารย์บอก
Practice more. Save the money
อยู่ใก
for
ล้
you
ก็
to
ลม
eat.
เย็นนะ
So every time when you see
เข้า
the
ไปใกล้
master, you
ใกล้
will
ก็
feel
ก็เรียบ
calm,
เคียงขอเงินนะ
happy.
ต้องรู้
But if
นะ
you see the
ถ้า
masters
อาหารกับพระอะไรหิวเนี่ยไม่มี
or
กินนะ
the monk that would ask you for offering,
ถ้ายังหิวอยู่
you
ใช่
feel that they are still hungry,
แต่ทางที่ดี
then
แทนที่จะ
they
ให้
are
เงิ
not
น
true
เขานะ
masters.
เราภาวนาของเราดีกว่าเพียง
But
อย่าตกเป็น
don't
เหยื่อ
pay
เขานะ
attention to them.
อย่า
Just
เชื่อง่าย
practice.
เชื่อมงคลตื่นข่าว
Don't believe
ที่นั่น
easily.
ดีที่นี่ดีคนนั้นดีคนนี้
Don't
ดี
believe easily that this
ดี
person,
ไม่
when
ดี
you
อยู่
hear
ที่
this
ตัวเราเอง
person is good, this place is
เรา
good,
เห็นกิเลสได้ก็ดี
if you
เห็น
see
กิเล
your
สไม่ออก
defilement,
ก็
that's
ไม่ดี
good.
ก็เท่านั้นแหละ
If you don't see the defilement,
เพราะงั้น
that's
ก็
not
หัด
good.
อ่านใจ
That is
ตัวเอง
all.
นะกิเล
So
สอะไร
let's
เกิดเราก็
practice
รู้ไปไม่ต้องละนะ
reading,
รู้ไป
observing, noticing your mind.
ถ้าเราเห็น
Know
กิ
when
เล
the
สแล้วกิเล
defilement
สจะครอบ
arise.
งำใจเราไม่ได้
When the
เมื่อ
defilement,
กิเล
you
สครอบ
see the
งำใจเราไม่ได้
defilement,
เราจะ
the
ไม่ผิด
defilement
ศีล
cannot
ไม่ผิด
affect
ศีล
your
แล้วกิเลสมัน
mind.
จะเกิด
When it cannot affect your
เมื่อกิเล
mind,
สคร
then
อบ
you will
งำ
not
ใจเราไม่
break
ได้ใจเราไม่
any
ฟุ้ง
moral
ซ่าน
precepts.
สมาธิมันจะเกิด
And the mind will be calm.
เมื่อ
The
กิเล
mind
ส
is
ครอบงำใจ
peaceful.
ไม่ได้
And that will lead to
มันจะเกิดสภาวะ
correct
ที่ตรง
samadhi.
ข้ามรัก โลภะโทสะโมหะเนี่ย
But if you break that, the opposite will arise.
กิเลสครอบงำเราไม่ได้กุศลมันจะเกิด
When the defilement cannot tame your mind, then wholesomeness will arise. The mind will be truly wholesome. It can let go. It will start to let go and cultivate more wisdom. So let's study your mind, notice your mind. That is all the Dhamma talk for today. There's no homework reviewing today. That's why Luang Por can give a long Dhamma talk. Let's practice and escape from this world because this world is deteriorating. We cannot fix this world. We can fix ourselves. The world is full of suffering. It is just suffering. You cannot fix it. Let's develop our mind and be away from this world. Let the mind ascend from the world. The mind is no longer attached to the world, and your mind will be happy even though you are in this chaotic world. It's kind of like the tongue of the snake, the tongue inside the snake mouth. Like the snake will not bite on their own tongue. The snake would not bite on their tongue, but we still bite on our own tongue sometimes. You can protect your mind. Then it will not be harmed. You cannot protect your mind with the Dhamma. You are all welcome to go home now, or you can stay here to perform the Visakha Puja candle walk ceremony. But Luang Por is not guaranteed because it has been raining a lot lately. The weather was strange lately. Now that it is summer, but it rained a lot. And it could be drought in the rainfall season because the world has changed a lot. Luang Por cannot control the weather. So you are welcome to stay, but it may rain this evening. That is all the Dhamma talk for today. อนุโมทนาค่ะ